that I want to let people here know today is, number one, this bill is not going to scale through. Even if this bill scales through, it will only be on paper. It will never happen on ground. The government is only going to bring problems if this bill should scale through. I know this bill is dead on arrival, but I'm just saying, if any kind of miracle should happen and this bill scales through, it is only going to be on paper. It will never happen on ground, because now everybody has woken up, everybody is aware, and this is a very sensitive thing that they are pushing. So, and they are pushing people to their limits. Everybody is already angry. Me as an Yoruba and a Yoruba man, I don't want my culture, my tradition to be diluted. I want them to...
In the 60s, that's the reason the Midwest was overrun by Biafran forces. That's the reason Ojukwu sent his people, including Victor Banjo, to enter into Yoruba land. It wasn't to help anybody, it was to expand. You couldn't. You will not. This is not a settlers colony. Every region, every space has different cultures. Your culture is a certain way. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad. But I don't want you to come into my space to dominate the space, because I can't say anything now, because who is an indigene? Everybody is an indigene. So 1 billion people from your place can come into my space, take over. And by the way, if you're a minority, if you are, and minority is an insult, it just means that you don't have so many numbers. If your numbers aren't that, plenty like that, big like that, and you're Nigerian, you're supporting this kind of thing, you are the one they will take over first.
Pass through the first reading, second reading, and they pass it, probably eventually pass it to law. This bill might cause, CWR in Nigeria. If you don't, for those people that don't know what CWR, civil war, it might cause, conflict in Nigeria. If this Senate, our lawmakers, you don't pass bill that will make a mandatory electricity, 24 hours electricity. You don't pass bill that will favor, citizens, that will make, if you are from 60, if you are old, from old age pension, receivement of salary, you don't pass those bill. You don't pass those bill of, unemployment salary. You don't pass those bill. You don't pass the bill of student payment, mandatory payment. You don't pass those bill. You don't pass bill that will make things that will come down, because people are suffering in Nigeria. But the bill that will cause conflict, that's all our lawmakers, because they are sleeping. They are just sleeping old people. Indigenization of what? Bill. You guys who wake up and propose this bill, I know that this bill must have been proposed by an Igbo person.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to Igb0s blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. The Indigeneship bill is an attempt by the Igb0s to claim other people's land. Hence, it should be rejected by non-Igbos. After carefully studying the Indigeneship bill and proponents of the bill, we at Igb0s blog discovered that they are Igb0s, and their socio-cultural group, Igb0 Youth Council Worldwide, is also in support. The Igb0s want to use this bill to become indigenes of other states. According to the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Kalu, an Igbo man, who is the sponsor of the bill, said the intention of the bill was to promote national unity, equity, and inclusiveness among all Nigerians, regardless of where they reside. Part of the bill stated that the state houses of assembly should make laws that will make settlers in different states enjoy the same rights and privileges by the indigenes, he said. While the bill aimed to promote national unity, inclusiveness, and equity for Nigerians residing outside their ancestral states. Meanwhile, the people who analyzed the bill warned of potential complications, particularly the risk of creating overlapping or multiple indigeneship claims. States should make laws that would allow settlers to benefit same rights and privileges enjoyed by indigenes without any form of discrimination as rightly provided for in the Constitution. Though the bill seeks to achieve some commendable objectives, this can be achieved through the enactment of a law. If this bill is passed, it would pose challenges with time, especially on the issue of double or multiple indigeneship, they stated. According to the bill, it sought to grant Nigerians who have resided in a state for a specific period the same rights and recognition as indigenes. The goal was to eliminate discrimination against so-called non-indigenes and foster national integration. However, the Igb0 Youth Council Worldwide backed the bill, wondering why it was being criticized. In a statement, the group's president, Akwo Nabuiki, wondered how a bill that would benefit every citizen of the country could be termed to be favorable to Igbo. The truth of the matter is that the bill will favor Igbos who are scattered all over Nigeria and beyond. However, the bill sparked debate over the legal and political implications of multiple indigeneship claims and concerns about undermining state autonomy, prompting its temporary withdrawal. The bill has been withdrawn by the sponsor, Mr. Kalu. A socio-cultural group, the Renaissance Patriots Foundation, asked the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Igb0s Tajuddin, not to entertain the bill, warning that it could provoke widespread ethnic conflict across the country. In a strongly worded statement titled Rejection of the Proposed Bill on Indigenous Rights due to its potential to invite ethnic conflict, the group criticized the bill as a potential trigger for national disunity. Also, the Society for Ojibwa Socio-Cultural Renaissance, in a statement, expressed deep concerns about the implications of the bill, arguing that indigeneity is an ancestral and cultural identity that cannot be legislated. According to Society, while citizenship is determined by legal frameworks, indigeneity is tied to lineage and heritage, passed down through generations. According to this TikTok guy, an Arobo man, said there is a dangerous bill that is being pushed by Igb0s in the House of Representatives. The bill is not only dangerous but a threat to our culture, to our tradition, to our heritage, to everything that has to do with our roots. Why is this bill being pushed by politicians from the southeast? If this bill scales through, it is going to bring problems to Nigeria. I know this bill is dead on arrival, but I am just saying if any miracle should happen and this bill scales through, it is going to be on paper. It will never happen on the ground because now everybody has woken up, he stated. He queried why the Igb0s are so interested in having the same rights as indigenes of another man's land. This does not make any sense, he added. Watch the video.
Something very dangerous is going on, and nobody here on TikTok seems to be talking about it. Yeah. And as soon as I step into Nigeria, I'm in Africa, I'm back from Abuja, but I'm in the neighboring country. As soon as I step into Lagos, we'll be doing this both online and offline. I just want to tell people now about it because this indigenous bill that is being aggressively pushed by Uzodinma, Benjamin Kalu, and other big wigs from the southeast, this is not only dangerous, this is a threat to our culture, to our tradition, to our heritage, to everything that has to do with our roots. Because I don't understand why you're pushing a bill that will give you the power to have the same rights as the indigene of a particular place just because you stayed there for 10 years. Where does that work? We are already citizens of Nigeria. Anybody can move to any region and buy land and build your house there, but why do you want to have the same rights as the indigenes of that place? So maybe you can't match their head. And now this bill is only being pushed by the politicians from the southeast. Nobody else is doing anything. But so why? What are they looking for? All these things going on, is it not enough problem? Now they are now pushing this dangerous bill that will give people rights to be indigenes of a place because they stayed there for 10 years. We are not going to accept that. We don't need it. This is going to cause a very big problem. And one thing that I want to let people here know today is, number one, this bill is not going to scale through. Even if this bill scales through, it will only be on paper. It will never happen on ground. The government is only going to bring problems if this bill should scale through. I know this bill is dead on arrival, but I'm just saying, if any kind of miracle should happen and this bill scales through, it is only going to be on paper. It will never happen on ground because now everybody has woken up, everybody is aware, and this is a very sensitive thing that they are pushing. And they are pushing people to their limits. Everybody is already angry. Me as an Yoruba and a Yoruba man, I don't want my culture, my tradition to be diluted. I want them to stay the way they are. And I believe people from the southeast should do the same. They are already doing the same. I believe people from the northwest, northeast, and north central should do the same. Yes, I can go to the northwest and I get land for Abuja. Yes. I can go to Abuja now and build a house. Fine. I'm a Nigerian. Somebody from Abuja can come to Delta State, build house, come to Lagos and build house. No problem. But do I want to have the same rights as baggy people of Abuja? No. Why do I need that? I don't need it. Do I want them to come to my land and have the same right as me? No, I don't want. They can come and do their business, build their houses. But I don't want them to have the same right as me, and I don't want to go to their place and have the same right as them. I don't want to be any kind of traditional ruler in any other place that is not my place. Even in my own place, I know if you do anything traditional ruler, I cannot even come to another man's place. So why are these people so interested in having the same rights as indigenes of another man's land? This does not make any sense. And this bill is only being pushed by the politicians from the southeast. none from the south, none from the southwest, none from the northeast, none from the northwest, none from the north central. Only the southeastern politicians. They are the only ones pushing this bill. Why? And if we talk now, they'll start crying bigotry. We never even start this bigotry. They'll start crying bigotry. Because I don't understand why you want to go to somebody's land and be king there, and be prince there, and be their governor, and be their local government chairman. No, if you want to do that, you can go to your place and do that. You don't have to go to other people's place to go and do that. No, it is never going to work. This is going to create more problems. And it's not going to add to the one that is already on ground, because everybody is already angry. Everybody is now very sensitive when it comes to tribal issues. Everybody now wants to protect their heritage, their culture, their tradition. They want it to stay the way it is. So I've made so many videos on TikTok, but I have never for one day asked anybody to share. But this particular video, if you can do your own video and say the same thing, please do it. And if you can share it anywhere you're on Facebook, share it. But this bill is a no. It's a big no. It is dangerous, and it is a big threat, and it is dead. It should be dead on arrival. It should be dead on arrival. So whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Edo, whether you are Urubu, whether you are Akwa Ibom, whether you are wherever you're from, do not let your tradition or culture be diluted. Let it stay the way it is. We don't want anybody that is not indigenous to the land to come and become something that they're not supposed to be there. It's never going to work like that. No. So let everybody stay the way they are. We don't want problems. We don't want fights. Nigeria has enough in its hands already. The president has enough that he's doing already. And we don't want to bring any more problems, because this particular bill is going to cause very big problems. Very, very big problems. Even government knows if he handle them. Because people are angry, people are waiting for somebody to do the wrong move. And I don't understand why Benjamin Kalu and Opuzodima, why they are so aggressive with this. They've been pushing it aggressively, but this is not going to scale through. No. No. Say no to indigenous bill. Big no.
Everyone is having the same fear about the Igb0s' intentions concerning the Indigeneship bill promoted by the politicians from the southeast. According to this Yoruba man, Igb0s are using America as a template to push this bill. America and Nigeria are not the same. Ojukwu tried it during the Civil War, and he failed. They intend to expand their territory. This country is not a settler's colony. Every region, every space has different cultures. I am not saying your culture is good. I am not saying your culture is bad. But I don't want your culture to come into my space to dominate the place. The minority in this country should be very careful about this bill. If you are a minority and you are supporting this bill, your place will be the one they will take over first, he stated. He added that every place you find ancestral people, where they live in their own land, they do not mess with their land. Watch the video.
You can't use the law to own people's spaces where you're not indigenous to. And there's nothing like they do it in America. Number one, in America, you had a more powerful group who had more weaponry and conquered the place. You cannot conquer anybody. And I don't think anybody even wants to think in that direction, because there's nothing good coming out of it. We've gone through this path. I mean, we went through this path in the 60s. That's the reason the Midwest was overrun by Biafran forces. That's the reason Ojukwu sent his people, including Victor Banjo, to enter into Yoruba land. It wasn't to help anybody, it was to expand. You couldn't. You will not. This is not a settler's colony. Every region, every space has different cultures. Your culture is a certain way. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad. But I don't want it to come into my space to dominate the space, because I can't say anything now, because who is an indigene? Everybody is an indigene. So 1 billion people from your place can come into my space, take over. And by the way, if you're a minority, if you are, and minority is not an insult, it just means that you don't have so many numbers. If your numbers aren't that, plenty like that, big like that, and you're Nigerian, you're supporting this kind of thing, you are the one they will take over first. Half education is worse than being ignorant. It's better to be ignorant than to be half educated, because you will think you know something. This American explanation of people, any small thing US, any small thing US. My question is, do you want to do what US did in that place? Every place you find ancestral people where they live in their own land, they do not mess with their land. Now you understand what the minorities went through in the Eastern region in the 50s and 60s. Now you get it. Now you get it. But we're going to get into those things. You will see exactly what those people went through in the hands of certain people. Moved en masse into those people's spaces, told those people's spaces that they all own the place. Especially once Biafra started. When you see people from River State act the way they do, like now, there's a letter that they wrote to the governor, to the Inspector General of Police, saying that they don't want to have Igbo festival in Port Harcourt. When you see that kind of thing as a Yoruba person, and you're like, these people are bad, they're not good Nigerians, you don't understand their history. Sit down, be humble, and listen to them. When you see people shout, I'm not this is my ethnic group, I'm not that ethnic group, in Delta State, in River State, and you're looking at them and like, oh, why can't we just do one Nigeria? You don't understand. You think everybody is like you. That's why you are thinking that way, and you are okay to think that way, but you are not knowledgeable enough about Nigeria's history. Anybody who has studied a tiny bit, don't read many books, just a few pages of Nigeria's history. If you just read a little bit, you would not want what they're asking for. And this is the kind of things that lead to war. And I'm praying to God that I will not have that kind of thing in Nigeria in Jesus' name, because it's this kind of thing like I can come into your space. What do you think led to the killings in the north in 1966? It's things like this. And again, don't we learn from history?
This Indigeneship bill is a special bill. According to this Ezen guy, the Indigeneship bill can lead to civil war if it scales through. Our lawmakers don't pass bills that will improve the living standards of Nigeria. If they passed the bill, there would be conflict in Nigeria. Nobody can tell me otherwise. This Indigeneship bill is promoted by Igb0s in the House of Representatives. If this bill scales through, we are finished. An Igbo man who has the spirit of dominance and who likes taking other people's land, might just probably come to our land tomorrow, spend 10 years, and he will want to become chief or Haze in our land. Before you know it, they have taken over our land. Or they might come in groups, stay in our land for 10 years, chase us away because they are now citizens, and take over our land, he stated. He added that Igb0s are fond of claiming other people's land. Watch the video.
The indigenization bill that is being proposed by our lawmakers, a lot of people are not paying attention to this bill. This bill is a very special bill that we should not take on granted. And if this bill, scale through, pass through the first reading, second reading, and they pass it, probably eventually pass it to law, this bill might cause, CWR in Nigeria. If you don't, for those people that don't know what CWR, civil war, it might cause, conflict in Nigeria. If this Senate, our lawmakers, you don't pass bill that will make a mandatory electricity, 24 hours electricity. You don't pass bill that will favor, citizens, that will make, if you are from 60, if you are old, from old age pension, receivement of salary, you don't pass those bill. You don't pass those bill of, unemployment salary. You don't pass those bill. You don't pass the bill of student payment, mandatory payment. You don't pass those bill. You don't pass bill that will make things that will come down because people are suffering in Nigeria. But the bill that will cause conflict, that's all our lawmakers, because they are sleeping. They are just sleeping old people. Indigenization of what? Bill. You guys who wake up and propose this bill, I know that this bill must have been proposed by an Igbo person. Nothing you want to tell me awful and is. Nothing you want somebody can tell me with this ridiculous bill. If this bill scale through my people, we are finished as people. Igbo man who has the spirit of dominance, taking other people's land, might just probably come to his land tomorrow and spend 10 years and say, oh, you want to become chief in this land, or rather you want to take superior title, a Zendigo king, a paramount king. in Esaland, and nothing we can do about it, because indigenization is our ability where when you make person, after 10 years, that person become a proper citizen like you as an aborigine. Therefore, those people can just come to, come to Esaland. They will just come a group in numbers and decided to reside in Esaland. At the end of the day, you as an aborigine will be chased out. They can take gun, to chase out the aborigine, and they are the citizen of that place. These people that is fond of claiming other tribes that are claiming, as a person, you are an Igbo because we title rapper, our mother's title rapper. You are an Igbo. Once you are saying no, I'm not, they will say shut up, you are an Igbo. They try to force their identity on you. If they hear your name, like we call Ine, and they call their own name, they will say no, we are the same thing. We couldn't pronounce it well. That is why we call it Ine. These people, Igbo people, it shouldn't be allowed. This be any lawmaker in Esaland that is representing or entire Edo State, the entire Edo State, whether you are from Edo North to Edo Central, Edo South, I don't care. Any lawmaker, my Edo people, you guys will wake up, because Igbo man will come to Benin and decided to claim that they are king now. They will be dragging your palace or dragging your land with you. See, this bill, they haven't signed this bill. Many people are claiming land that does not belong to them. You see them going to Yoruba, dragging Yoruba with the Yorubas. They go to Esan, dragging Esan with us. They say they develop our land, the developers. If this bill scale through, pass through the second reading, and they probably eventually, pass, enforce this law, we are finished. The Fulani man can leave their bush. We will say one Nigeria. Look at what the Fulanis are doing. They are going to terrorize people. If they live with us as human beings, there will be no problem. Fulanis. But they will go to your forest, deprive you of what your sweat, come to your farm, destroy your farm with their cattle. If this be scale through, Fulani will just go to our land, build their tent. They have spent 10 years, they are indigent, they will be fighting us, they will chase us with their gun. Also, of course, we know as Nigeria that Fulani, not only Fulani, has the rights, according to Nigeria, they are the number one citizen that has the right to move around with AK-47. And no law will hold them. They can move around with their gun. If I, as a person from South Esan, move around with AK-47, police will hold me and I will be jailed. But if the Fulani Caliphate move around with AK-47, no, the law permits them to go around with AK-47, with cartridges and any ammunition. This bill, should not be allowed to even scale through first reading. It should be defied, should be thrown into the bottomless pit. This law cannot stand in Nigeria at all, except the lawmakers in Nigeria want to cause war. They want to cause CWR, except they want to cause it. That is when they will allow this bill to scale through. Because somebody cannot live. I don't want to go to Igbo land to become indigent of Igbo. I don't want Igbo to come to my land to become indigent of my land. I don't want Yoruba to leave Yoruba, come to Edo State or come to Esan land and begin to tell us we run Esan. I don't want to go to Yoruba land to tell Yoruba how they will rule their life there. Or I want to become part of them. I want to rule their land with them. I want to take over their land. We form your land to tell them how they will rule. Our jobless leaders, lawmakers, if you don't have any job to do, look at regional government, system of government. Stupid. Regional system of government, pass that bill. Every region should command their own territory. Fine. And I've seen you guys are passed, what is it called? This bill of what you consume is what you receive from your income. So, those people that say they will not drink alcohol, you cannot be receiving the money that come out from alcohol from the south. So, eat what you feed on, what you consume. This indigenization bill is not accepted. It cannot stand in Nigeria territory. If you think that, as of those people who think that Nigeria is like USA, Nigeria is not like USA. Nigeria is built on tribe. We are not one before. We were not one. Till now, we are not still one. Whether we like it or not. We should stop this delusion that we are one. We are not one. We are just a different ethnic group. Found in living to cohabitating together in geographical space. We are not one. Nigeria is approximately 370 ethnic groups. That makes them nations before they were amalgamated together. So let us not confuse this thing. There are so many politicians that may mention this. I think which Yoruba politicians say we are not one, different ethnic group that are capable of becoming a nation. One tribe in Nigeria is bigger than many countries outside. So we are not one. This law, this proposed bill, that you people are planning to favor some people who lack the ability to develop their own region, or rather their own tribe, and therefore moving from one tribe to another to dominate those tribes. It can never stand, and it's unacceptable, and we cannot accept it in Nigeria. And if you guys pass this bill, and there will be a serious consequence to this bill, we will never accept this bill, and nobody will come to my tribe to tell me that he is from my tribe. If you like being an Igbo, you are still a stranger, and a stranger you will remain. No, guys, let's discuss this on the comment section. I hate rubbish, and let's discuss this on the comment section. Follow me for more video, like and share.